Hey everyone, this is Kabi and we are watching the tournament game in the mode Treasure Hunt. In the top left corner appears the dark player whose nickname is Veteran, which means pretty much what it says. And in the bottom right appears Gansai, which as far as I know doesn't mean anything. So both guys are kinda top-notch players, really good skilled, so let's see what they are going to be up to. The map, which I personally only played one in this tournament, I think. For some reason it didn't happen to me often in the matchmaking. But what's different here about the other maps is that the mana well is relatively close, so it's really worth it to take it with just one of the first workers. It is really an interesting decision, and I think we still have a lot of consider here about which unit we should be taking the mana wells with. Of course, if we mean the mana wells to remain non-guarded, it's not certain. The level designers can do whatever they think is optimal. It's just that currently we think that having them open is kind of better, because in this game pace you really don't have the room and the time and units to spend on the eliminating the elemental. So if we leave the mana wells guarded as in the normal PvP, it's just high probability that nobody will eventually even use the scrolls in this mode, because nobody will be able to take these mana wells. So anyway, we can see under Obelisk from Veteran. He is apparently going to be playing the Eater hero. And what about Gansai? He's adding the second racks. Castle 2 is up to him already as well, and we can expect... Oh, Elementary! It definitely wasn't what... it isn't what I was expecting. I thought it would have been human monument. So I've been expecting knights, but it seems that he's about to play princess with the archers. Well, since Veteran is playing undead tech, it kinda makes sense to play elves if you can maintain your princess micro well. Honestly, I'm not too sure about my personal micro, so when I see the undead tech I prefer to play the knights. The hard part about it is that you really have to maintain them out of the Eater ability, but as well you have to maintain princess out of Eater ability. But the easier part that you can leave the archers hitting the Eater while you keep running with the princess, and when you have knights you can't leave anything for the Eater, so you have to micro everything. But it's kinda not that hard because all of your army is very mobile. But Gansai decided to go the other way, so he goes full elves. Yeah, and here we can see Eater into the skeleton archers. Many players do that mistake playing the undead tech, so they add the very early second racks, and they don't have enough resources to get the quick Eater, so the Eater don't have an ability ready by the 5-minute mark chest timing. But in this mode we don't have the 5-minute mark chest, right? So it is kind of different, but you still wanna have your hero faster. It's interesting how the Veteran decided to add the Tower of the Dark Magic to this position, even though he can't be sure where the next chest is actually gonna be. But yeah, he is splitting and he's positioning his army really well, in my opinion, and Gazai does that as well, so he's moving away in advance. But I wonder if he really have to end this tower, because it is already certain that the chest is gonna pop up on the other side of the map, and if you take off right now, he can't be there on time. And if he would be spending even more time on this Tower of the Dark Magic, he couldn't have been there on time. Yeah, this goon wins even more time for the Dark player now, and obviously he's there in the Citadel 3 and the Workshop, along with the Goblin Lab. It's interesting. Apparently he's about to add the drills, and drills are kinda a slow tech. I'm not sure about that. It wasn't the best micro moment. Wrong trajectory out of Princess, so the Princess goes down relatively quick for 1 Eater ability with a few Skeleton Archers, not the Soul Eater of course. But yeah, way too many archers here, so even with the increased regeneration from the Devouring ability, Eater still would go down if he left. So Gunsai decided to kind of pull back, leave here on this chest. But Veteran won't let him to retake the Watchtower so far. And what about Gunsai? He has Castle 3, Sanctuary added, Dwarven Forge. Players are kinda obviously not on the same page with me. I would expect something like Wind Mages here. Probably too slow, I'm not sure, but here definitely the drills, so this is why the Goblin Lab was added for. Not the fastest tech either, but well, still faster comparing to the drills, obviously. And also, yeah, the Napalm Tower, a good bonus that the dark side has when adding the Goblin Lab. I really like Veteran's position. I only played the Veteran once so far. Well, probably our accounts are not equal either, but still, I didn't have a lot of chances, to be honest. So he has the good levels and also the good skills, so a combination that is not easy to overcome. So yeah, at least it's kinda a honor that I already have a good win rate to even be matched against a player like this. So yeah, Princess is marking down the Eater. This is why the light player kills the Eater relatively quick. Now it is Jax being added to the mix. Tower is down. Tower of the Dark Magic was stolen. Yeah, by the way, Drill can try to take down this one. I'm not sure if he's going to do it. Seems like a miss micro to me, but apparently Gansai just moved away his worker with a move command after he's been assigned for the job, so this is why the system assigned the other guy for the job instead. Yep, Drill is great, but not that great probably, so he has to retreat. You still wanna leave someone on the chest, I believe. Drill, another Drill doing the Drill things, or rather we may call it the Fox things, because he's just stealing the mana wells from you and you can't do anything unless you pay a lot of attention, really. Fox is here too, to be able to do the Fox things. Yes, and now a little harassment. Artillery tower now being ended. Makes sense because the dark player obviously used the drills, so the artillery tower will be a better choice. So now the two heroes. What I learned for me for this mode, probably any mode, but this mode especially, that as a dark you really want to have the three heroes combinations. And the problem about the drills that they kind of substitute, so they are instead of heroes. And they are still I feel it like they're still not that good as the heroes, but probably you can use some drills instead of that, because you don't have to at least upgrade the hero altar to the 3rd tier. That really takes a long time. Well, Ring of Fire coming up. I wonder if the Gloom could have been a better choice here, because if the Gloom have been used, then the archers would do a few steps towards the enemy units. And, well, maybe Dark didn't have enough to deal with it after they do that step. So yeah, probably Ring of Fire that made them step back is a better choice here. Well, so the task here is to do something with a lot of archers. Bombers is a good idea. Well, basically drills kinda have to be alright. Well, everything was so clumped together so that one magic blast did a lot of damage. Sharp thorns, actually now just the thorns I think, also did great against the archers. Special tincture out of checks, and so all of the archers but one go down, and that one is not about to survive any longer. Great fight of the worker against a skeleton archer. Skeleton archer has a penalty when shooting to the next cell to it, as you probably know, so this is why worker put up a great fight against the battle unit. So all the 3 positions are being secured with the Dark Towers. And even though it seems like Gansai is given the great fights, he's not leading really. He's behind in supply, and I'd say he's behind in tech, because there are 4 drills against pretty much nothing apart from the Fox. The Fox is the only high-tech unit. Let's see what this light player is about to make out of his Fox. So now the human monument is being added. Apparently he's about to add the guardsman, but the drills are not cavalry, by the way. So guardsmen do not do an additional damage to them, even though it's a guy sitting in something, but it's not cavalry. They don't have a cavalry strike, they don't attack on the move. Yeah, princess keep doing the princess stuff, distracting an enemy. And also the fox. Here comes that girl. Great fan of arrows, by the way. Someone need a move command. Oh, it almost happened. A great move around the Eater, but Eater doesn't have the greatest rate of turn, it's called. Yeah, not the greatest rate of turn. This is why Princess almost made it. But eventually the Princess went down. And now it's Paladin who is being resummoned, so the Princess should remain in the queue. This is why sometimes you really wanna add the second altar, actually, because the Altar of Heroes is one of the cheapest production buildings, so you really can afford that one. Special Chin Tincture is coming, I believe. No, just auto attack. Alright. Tincture and the Thorns could deal with all of those units, actually, and that would buy a lot of time. Yeah, here it comes. Actually, Gansai did a great job microing the units off, but good active ability out of the Eater. Gansai already started to move away, but didn't make it quick enough. Guardsman not really too afraid of this throwing away. It doesn't deal the greatest damage. Yep. What can you tell about the 6 drills? 6 drills are scary to me. Well, kinda the weakest part of this army is the anti-air, I believe, because it is just one skeleton archer and alchemist, but this is why veteran keeps adding skeleton archers, I believe, because they doesn't consume a lot of food. And actually copters make sense, and I keep insisting on the wind mages, honestly. Obviously wind mages do not deal a lot of damage to the drills, but at the same time they slow them down even more. And having a couple of them in the mix is kinda good. Fox Riders do the great damage against drills and against everything in the game, but the problem is that can't survive long. With Paladin and probably the Protection Scroll, or being combined with the Snowstorm, they are kinda okay, because obviously nobody hit them when everyone is snowstormed, but it also takes a lot of mana. But Gansai does have enough, so he can kinda try in the next engagement. But he also needs to get everything in the right position. Now he just stands back in the base. Well, he doesn't have the control, it is us who see the entire map, and Gansai do not. He only sees his Manuel and the base, because both the watchtowers belong to veteran here. And also it is just one chest that splits the veteran and his victory that he can take. I'm not sure why Gansai decided to give away his copters. Seems that he decided to go for the mana well. He's not gonna make it though. Well, the chest is in the top right corner. Good random, I think, for... Well, it would be bad for the light player if it was the central position. But as far as it is one of the corners, I feel it's kinda okay. He really needs not to let the Fox Riders in the Eater ability. He does relatively good. Snowstorm and the Rockfall in the same position. Not the greatest Rockfall, I feel. The Snowstorm is okay, special tincture is there though. Kinda late artillery strike, but still hits a couple of drills, and then even more drills go down to the helicopters. Copters does great in this fight. Copters are really the game changers here, I feel. Well, Guardsmen are okay, they're kinda okay all the time. It is just those kind of the core units that just does it normally, you know. Not the worst, not the greatest, if it's not about the cavalry. But they build fast, they don't cost a lot, kinda a good core unit. Yep, and if you missed one drill in the fight, here's where that guy is where. Killing the sawmill. Or probably not really killing it. Yep, sawmill is about to survive. Barely, but still can work. I'm not sure about this move out of veteran, to be honest. He's about to lose the Eater. Oh, it was the bite on the rockfall. Only killed one helicopter with it though, so not sure if it was worth it. And eventually his Eater is about to go down. All the Fox Riders survived. Only 2 copters was killed in the end, so I'm not sure where the other copters. Maybe in the same fight, I didn't notice it though. Well. But the players only have 1 hero altar so far, so they can't really replenish the heroes quick enough. 3 Fox Riders and 3 helicopters. Well, probably I'm not insisting on the wind mages that much, to be honest. 1 wind mage could kinda be handy, but a lot of Fox Riders with the copters, it seems that they do alright. Yep, and here Gansai has to move. He even has to leave the drill back because he can't let the veteran to take one more chest, so he has to engage. And if it will be better for him if he starts and kills the towers quick enough. But now the Fox Rider receive a lot of damage out of those drills along with the Napalm towers, and I really feel that this fight is going way too great for the Dark player. Here comes the Eater, doesn't have the ultimate ability yet. 2 drills still surviving. They have to stop attacking the Paladin. Well, the dome is not there anymore, so probably they have to start to do it again. The Fox Rider is a great target as well. And now come the chest. All the towers went down, but the ultimate of the Eater is finally there. Bombardier Baron is being attacked. Paladin and the Fox Rider still there. The 1 drill has been immediately reordered for the Fox Rider Great Micro out of Veteran. Also the Ring of Fire coming up. Here comes the Bombardier. No more healer and... oh, I mean the Bomber, of course. No more healer, no more Baron. 1 Eater eats someone, I didn't even notice whom, but it is extra regeneration. Also Alchemist here in the fight. I wonder if it would be a great idea for Gansai to Baron his towers too here in the fight, but for some reason he just doesn't kinda think this way in this game, so he's not proxying. And he keeps using the Fox Rider, but the 2 Dark Heroes, Gansai decided to take down the tower in the first place. It probably makes sense, but yet another Napalm Tower being ordered, and already another ability from the Eater. Gansai is trying to run away, but the puddle slowing him down. Ballista being added to the mix, stunned immediately. But probably those 2 ballista, great position by the way, attacking Alchemist and killing it in 1 salvo out of 2 units, but here comes the timing, the 4th chest for the Veteran, and the game goes for the Dark player. But what a great game we just witnessed. I think it is the most intense game so far I saw in the treasure hunt game. We recorded the video, I think, in the Russian language last week, where it was just about the forgotten chest out of one of the players, but what an intense fight it was. Great game. Veteran and Gansai really well played, and thank you guys for sharing this kind of game. Can't wait to see another one next Sunday. And for today we're wrapping it up. Guys, thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.